This week on the street parliament.
So if you had a visa in your hand right now, you would not leave?
No.
To me, japa has also its own positive aspect. So we have countries that train their people just for export.
The problem of Nigeria goes both ways. There is the government and there is also the society.
There's no job, so people want to, greener pastures.
Welcome to Street Parliament. My name is Chimmeli. Today we tackle a topic that is on the lips of millions, japa. In the Nigerian slang, japa is a Yoruba word that means to escape or to flee. This term has come to summarize the plight and experiences of numerous Nigerians, especially the youth, who are fleeing the shores of the country for greener pastures abroad. Is it merely about better pay, increased safety, or just a strong sense of desire to escape hopelessness? Today, we invite you to join the conversation. What can be done to keep our brightest minds and hearts back here on the Nigerian soil? Welcome back to Street Parliament. First, I will start with you. How many of you, with a show of hands, please, have tried to leave the country in the past year or two? Honestly. Okay, what are the reasons you think people leave the country? Let me start with you.
I think the quality of life is one of the reasons why people want to leave Nigeria. Because if we look at the quality of, for instance, the quality of our healthcare, education, we look at all the basic infrastructure that helps a young person to thrive, whether in businesses, whether in your day-to-day, regular jobs, you see that it's lacking in Nigeria, and a lot of people felt they can get better quality of life outside Nigeria, and that was what actually influenced my thought of leaving Nigeria in past years too, because I feel like, if I could actually get better quality of life out there, let me just leave the country and go and experience that. So that, I think, that's one of the reasons that also influence people to move out of Nigeria.
Okay, all right. So I will come to you now. What reasons do you think people leave the country for?
Well, I would also put it down to work. So most individuals in Nigeria, when they graduate from school, it's not what exactly they studied or learned in school that they use to find places of work. It's made by who you know, and the opportunities outside being that you studied something and then you're able to use what you studied in work and enjoy it is something and an opportunity that I'm also looking forward to or looking at going to experience. But here in Nigeria, you can leave school with a first class in mechanical engineering and you go and work in a government organization that has nothing to do with what you studied in school. So those are some of the reasons why most people leave Nigeria.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And I will also come to the other gentleman. I want to know if your thoughts and theirs align to why do you think people leave the country?
I mean, it's let's still sorry. It's still the same reason. Livelihood. Everybody wants better lives. Everybody wants to able to feed their family. So a lot of young people who are living today are suffering back home. The salary and the income is nothing to write home about, and everybody wants better livelihood. But also a good number of a good range of people who are living for education. They're looking to empower themselves with new knowledge so that they will be able to compete out there with their peers from other parts of the world, and also to acquire new skills, which may not exactly be education, but skills, technical skills that can make them employable when they go out there.
Okay, so you mean that with the state of the country right now, those people who leave to acquire skills and get educated cannot get that here in the country.
Yeah, I mean the quality of education in Nigeria is good, but it's not as good as what you get when you go out there. And also, a lot of people who are graduates from Nigeria, when you travel abroad, you still they don't consider your education to be good enough to give you the kind of jobs that are out there. So many Nigerians are now leaving to get their master's degree abroad, so that they can be able to compete. So when they go there, like my colleagues here are saying, they get to be able to be employed because their degrees are from the countries.
All right. So do you think there's anything that can be done in that, let's say, the education sector? Because I like the fact that you're talking more about education. So do you think there's anything that can be done in that education sector to boost our certificates so that, they can better compete with the rest of the world?
Yeah, our education system is not exactly bad, right? But we don't have the infrastructure for practical knowledge. So we've been very good with theoretical knowledge, and that is why when we go out, we can speak good English, talk about the issue. But when it comes to doing it, the technology part too, uh, we are not just there. So one thing that we can get to improve is simple. The government should fund the education system. I know now we have a lot of private schools who are also coming up, but they're expensive. I mean, a lot of Nigerians cannot afford them. And one good thing the government could do is to have like a sort of education fund where private institutions could also access it to improve the facilities and make it affordable for Nigerians. While the government institution, public institution that have been helping Nigerians, saving Nigerians and educating us over the years, can also get better and retain the glory that they've been carrying all along.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So I will come over to you right now. You said that you had the opportunity to leave or you were supposed to leave and then you stayed back. So I want to know personally, were your decisions to leave just, personal, economical, or general?
Yeah, like you mentioned, when you're talking about opportunities, you realize that there are limited opportunities in Nigeria, and you struggling to get access to some of these opportunities, you feel the kind of amount of effort you put into pursuing those opportunities. If you go out there, it will not be as much as you will not put that much effort, and you get those opportunities. So it's more like you exploring other options that you have to see how you can actually get better life for yourself. But in the process of doing that, the opportunity came and you take it and you be like, well, since I've gotten what I'll be looking at out there, let me just calm down and say, I'll do it. That's it.
Okay, so you got that opportunity that you were seeking outside and you decided to stay back. So you are sort of advocating for people to weigh their options better and know if, they need to leave or they need to stay back.
So my opinion, if you ask me again, I can also tell you that to me, Japa has also its own what's it called, positive aspect. So we have countries that train their people just for export because they have so much human capital that they can also give out to the other countries to also earn from them in form of remittance and all of those. But Nigeria has not gotten to that point. And again, looking at the number of experiences that our professionals are living in Nigeria to go out there before we bridge that particular gap they are leaving behind, it's going to take us a lot of time. So a country like Nigeria that is struggling to develop cannot afford to leave their best hands to go out for export. We need to actually see how we can do so much to discourage our bright minds from leaving the source of the country. Currently, let us concentrate more to see how we can build the country and have the country that we can all be proud of. Even when we are out there, you can always say that, oh, Nigeria is a great country and I'm proud of my country and where I am. So it's just as simple as that. But, but, but in all, as we have the negative aspects of jackpot, so also we have the positive as well. That's the point I'm trying to raise. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So do you think that the glamorization of japa or living outside the country on probably social media helps in convincing more people to actually leave the country?
Yeah, it helps. It's marketing. It's basically, media is out there telling people. People see people coming on the social media, showing the kind of flamboyant lifestyle you can get if you're outside this country. They will never show you the struggles they're also facing out there. And that's, as young people, whatever you see that is gloomy, you want to, oh, it's happening out there. Let me see how I can find myself over there. And I think it also informs why a lot of people are actually struggling, trooping out of Nigeria currently without having a clear plan for their Japa journey. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So, I will ask you now, what policies and structural reforms do you think need to be put in place to curtail the rate at which people leave the country?
I would say the first one would be definitely provision of jobs, because I mean, every man wants to be able to fend for himself, to be able to feed him and his family. If those opportunities are not made, most people will most likely want to look outside. And also making education much affordable for the common man. If I cannot pay school fees for my children, I will want to find other ways to do it. So at the end of the day, it's down to provision for healthcare, for education, for just the general livelihood. We see the increase of a lot of things here when it comes to fuel prices, when it comes to food prices. Most people, they say that they are suffering a lot here and they can't provide basic amenities for their family. They will want to look for alternative opportunities that is not crime. And if Japan, you're telling me that I look on social media and I see people are being able to survive well because they put it out there that these countries make it affordable and available for you as a common citizen to be able to provide for yourself, even if you don't have a job. They make those possibilities that you're able to provide for yourself. Why wouldn't I want to also experience such things? If I'm able to experience that in my own country, why wouldn't I want to look for it outside? So if they are able to create policies that allow free education, of course, there are things that will go around that, but being able to provide education for everybody and being able to provide jobs, those are one of the two things I think are major for in Nigeria right now.
Okay. So do you think that these reforms and policies should only be done by the public sector, the government, or do you think that the private sector has a part to play?
I believe everyone has a part to play, but at the end of the day, it's all individualistic. You wouldn't come to a private owner to tell them to provide jobs. Of course, they would provide jobs, but they are looking for their own self to be able to generate gain for their own self. But we are all citizens of a particular country. I would say it's majorly on the public sector to find a way to make this available for the general man. Of course, everybody has their own part to play, but at the end of the day, everybody is an individual per se. They would think of mostly of their self and not really everyone else. So it is down to, as you said, public sector to look at it major.
Okay, so now I will ask a lady. First off, I would like to ask you why you think a lot of people are leaving Nigeria in droves, and if you think that that decision to leave is actually a good one.
Okay, I think part of the problem that make people leave maybe the country is poor governance, because if the leaders are governing us well, maybe we will not have reason to japa to leave the country, because so many things are going wrong. Let's say education, security, and other view, things are not good at all. So for a youth that is coming up, he will want a better life for himself and then live well. So he feels like leaving the country is a better solution, but it's not, because there are many struggles over there. But due to the fact that you um go to the social media, and then, or maybe once a while they come back from January, yes, abroad, and then they start showing you a lifestyle that you feel like is okay, not telling you what they passed through before getting to where they were. So you feel like, so for me, Jackpot is not,
It's not it.
is not,
So if you had a visa in your hand right now, you would not leave.
no, I will not.
Okay, all right. So why exactly won't you leave? I know you've generalized, but I want you to make it very personal right now about you. Why you will not leave? If I'm offering you a visa right now, why won't you leave?
Okay, I don't know anybody there, so I will look at the depression is one of it, and then it can kill, and then the struggles. I don't know how it looks like there, and I'm familiar with where I am, so I think whatever will happen, I will find my way. But for there, it will end up maybe not so good for me. So I don't think I can leave the country for any reason.
Okay, so to you, it is better to struggle in your motherland where you are familiar with, where you've grown up, where you know how the struggles start and end, instead of going to a foreign land to actually, do the same thing. Okay, all right, thank you. So right now I'm just going to go to the back. All right, so I would like to know the reason that you think people leave the country in droves. And if I give you a visa right now, would you leave?
Okay, well, for starters, I think that people leave the country in droves because there are a lot of issues
plaguing the country. But this does not mean that these issues cannot be addressed, right? There's no job, so people want to, greener pastures, a working system, a working environment. They want to be in a place where they can access good health care. They want to be in a place where they can access good education. They want to be in a place where they work and they are paid their time's worth, right? They put in the work and they see the effort, right? So it's different in other claims. It's not the same with the way things work here. So I think these are basically the reasons people leave. They just want a better life for themselves. And if you gave me a visa right now,
So if you consider the idea, is it because of the place I am telling you to go, or is it just because, okay, you do not want to betray your country? Why?
well, if I consider the idea, it would be favorable. So yes, I would go, and it would be because I want to access better education for myself, and because I also feel like it's better to build a career outside of the shores of this nation than building it here.
Okay. All right. So I'd like to ask, based on some of the responses that we've gotten, do you think that people who are leaving the country right now are sort of betraying the country and maybe not giving the country an opportunity to treat them better?
Not at all. Not at all. I believe everybody is doing what they believe is best for them. And if they've been here and they feel like they haven't been given the best and they plan to go out, it's down to them at the end of the day. So I don't think it's a betrayal, because I myself, I still expect to leave. I still want to leave. I'm given the opportunity to, I would go. Yes.
Right.
Yes. But right now, I would say it's not betrayal. I believe it is down to their choice. And if they feel that they've not been given enough to keep them here, then they might as well go.
Okay. All right. So I will come to you with this same question because you had that opportunity and you're still here. So now I am asking, even though that you've gotten or you're working towards what you want, I'm asking, if I give you a visa right now to your dream country that is not Nigeria, would you leave and why?
I will not. I won't leave because, again, a lot of the people that have spoken talk about the different factors that have made people to leave. If you do an analysis of, you do a plus and minus analysis of why you should leave or why you shouldn't leave. Currently, I think I have more reasons to stay back than to leave because, yeah, I also agree for the fact that human need is insatiable. The fact that I think I'm in the process of achieving one of the things I was looking forward to now doesn't mean that in the nearest future there will still not be other things that could also want me to and necessitate me to say I want to leave the country you get. But currently, if I'm given a visa to live to where I would love to have relocated to, I would not live currently because I've weighed my options and I feel better for me. I'm better off here than going there because this is where I've experienced here. I know how to navigate around there than over there. There is also this fear of the unknown that you're going to a foreign land, a land that you've never been to. You don't have family, friends, anyone there. You will be on your own and anything can happen to you there. Who are you going to call upon to say, okay, can you? But if Nigeria is also a working system, you wouldn't be needing those kind of things. But we are grown in a kind of communal society where when you have you have a need for help, you can easily pick a phone and call your nearest neighbor or even family to come to your aid. So Nigeria is a place to be for me currently. So I'm not leaving Nigeria, even if I have a visa now.
Okay. All right. So I will ask you a very different question. Let's talk about responsibilities. Who do you think is responsible for this mass japa wave? Do you think maybe the government, or you think it's the background or the upbringing, parents, or just the individuals themselves?
Well, the problem of Nigeria goes both ways. There is the government, and there is also the society. And then when I mean the society, I'm talking about the social decadence that we see in the way people behave. You see a lot of people going to crime that they could avoid, and you've also seen governments lose public fund that is meant for the people, and people turn a blind eye. So if you look at it from a side of community development, where the community come together to see what they can do to help the government and to improve their government, we've kind of we're not doing well in that regard. And also the government is feeding on the people's ignorance. So a lot of people are not, even if they're educated, they are not informed of their rights and also their responsibility in part of the civic process. So the problem we have now, we can't blame it on the government entirely, because the government is actually also making some effort. Then you look at the people. Sometimes when government provides some kind of create a system, do people exploit it? You get, are people exploiting government governance? You get, and that's why I look at it from both ways. So it's all encompassing, and if we really want to find a solution to the jackpot now problem we are going through, then we need to sit down, look inward, and create an inclusive solution.
Okay. All right. I like that you talked about a solution, because that's actually my next question. Do you think that the Japa is a problem to solve, or it's just a reality to accept?
I mean, Japa is migration, and migration is as old as um, civilization. So people have been moving from one place to the other. It will happen if you go to London, you see people travel from London and travel to some cities that are not known. You get, I mean, and these are places where the Japa destination for us. You get, so it's not something that we should be looking to stop, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't stop it. You can't stop. You can't. It's a right. People have the right to of free movement. You get, and but the fact that a lot of people who are doing this, I mean, who are living, are not living illegally. So although some people live through treacherous routes, but a lot of people go through the legal process. They pay all the money they need to pay. They get all the papers they need to get to live. You get, so but you look at why are people living? You get, people are living because where they're going to, they have access to electricity. People can manage their time properly. I can say that I'll jump on the train now, I'll get to my destination at this point. People buy tickets ahead, right? People feel safe because there is security. The food is affordable, and these are the things that over the years has continued to dwindle or decline in Nigeria. You get, and it's just it makes sense to a young person who have that young part of his life to enjoy before they get old and be more responsible. You get to want to live that kind of life, right? But they can't, because they spend a lot of time looking for money, and the money keeps going as they're earning it. But if you go somewhere else where you can work and you can manage, you can estimate that by this time I will have so amount of money if I do this, and I will have to take care of my parents that are aging. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to want to live. You get.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to ask this question across board. I'd like to know you've talked about a lot of things, a lot of possible solutions, but I'd like to know from you, what is the one thing that you think that if the government or the private sector does right now, it will convince young people to stay back, or, the ones who have gone to actually return?
Well, I have a very divisive thought around that. I feel like I mean, everybody will agree that it's the system that's make a lot of people leave. Um, I've been opportune to live outside Nigeria. I travel because of my job. I've traveled a couple of countries, and I've experienced police harassment. You get, even in those so-called places where you feel safe, right? And but the back home, our system, people don't trust the system, and the system is not, um, it does not protect your rights as a citizen.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So, I would like to know personally, in your opinion, the one thing that you think that if the government or the private sector does today, it will encourage the Nigerians who are outside the country to come back home, and the ones who are in Nigeria would not want to leave.
Okay, number one, I will answer your question by saying that there are categories of people living in the country. We have those ones that are the asset to this country that are living, and we have those ones that are actually basically doing nothing. They are just going out there to get a better opportunity for themselves. So, which means in population, we have population could be a blessing and it could also be a cost for a country. But for Nigeria, we have majority, a lot of people that have left actually going out there because they were doing nothing here and they feel going out there they will be able to do better. And we also have the professionals, the doctors, the nurses, the health professionals, the IT people that are living in mass every day. And that's where my concerns actually lie. And the reason why those people that are supposed to be assets to the country, are supposed to contribute to development of this country, the reason why they are living is basically because of what I mentioned earlier, which is the quality of life. Basically.
All right, thank you very much. I would also like to hear from you. What do you think? What is the one thing you think that if government does today, maybe the government, maybe the private sector, if they do it today, it will encourage people who are outside, Nigerians who are outside, to come back, and then it will also discourage the ones who are in the country from leaving?
I wouldn't say there is one thing exactly that I can mention. There are, I would say, steps or processes to it. I would say the major thing that has caused a lot of people to want to leave and has made it very difficult to live in Nigeria is the economic situation of our country. If you look at the purchasing power of the naira over the past 10 years, how it has gone down so far that I think dollar to naira is like 1617 right now. Few years ago, it was not the same. If you say 2 years ago, you could fill your fuel tank with like 5 to 7,000 naira. Today, 33,000 naira or 40,000 naira you'll be using. Even some cars take 100. So imagine the difference. If I was still earning the same salary I was earning 2 years ago, how much that would be. So I would say the economic situation of the country is one of the things. So if you see how the cost of living is so high, most people think that if I don't have enough money right now to be able to survive here, but outside it would be much better. Those are the things that would draw people out. So I would say improving the economic situation, our naira is very important because this is what we use for our trading to buy and sell goods. It's those things that encourage our naira or make it to appreciate or depreciate. So I would say the economic situation of the country needs to be better to ensure that people would want to be here. So if I should be in a world where naira goes back to like 90 naira rather than it being 16, people outside will hear that naira has gone down so much that everybody can afford a lot of things. They would want to come back to if it is much that way. So I would say that is my suggestion. I would still want to leave though, but that could be what will bring people back. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. As you have heard, japa is not just a trend, it is a cry for change in the nation. While a lot of people are leaving the country, there still remain countless voices who are advocating for a better Nigeria, a place where borders do not define or diminish ambition and dreams. My name is Chimmeli. Thank you for joining this episode of Street Parliament. Join us again, same time, same station.